Hello guys, we got 6 games for Monday, June 6th. Gonna be going over the PrizePicks MLB slate right here. So with only 6 games, there's just not gonna be a lot of plays because there are less games. And first inning runs allowed, I'm not really too confident about any of these because you look at all the probable pitchers for today, like nobody's really bad, and then none of them are really aces either. So it's kind of just, you don't really have a strong feeling as to if these teams are going to score a run or if they're not. But the one that I do have interest in, Mets and the Padres, it has the best odds if you look at DK Sportsbook. So there's all the games minus 125, 105. You usually want to look for something that's 140 or over. So this one could be interesting, but I mean, you're kind of relying on the Blue Jays here because the Royals, like that, they're not really the team that you trust to score a run. And then the Padres and the Mets, that's the one that has a minus 150 on the under. So it is going to be, if I could think of the names, Carrasco and Blake Snell pitching. So Carrasco, he's been solid this year, really bounced back. Blake Snell, he shows like signs of being really good at times, but then he gets kind of wild. It is a better matchup because the Mets, at least they are very good this year, but they do struggle a little bit against lefties compared to the righties where they just pretty much tear them apart. So that's one good thing. And also this game's going to be in San Diego. And so, if you look at the run totals as well, 3.9, 3.8. So it's going to be one of the lower run totals on the slate. So that's why the under, I would say, makes sense for this one, but definitely, not one that I really have a strong feeling about. And then pitchers thrown prop I'm looking at is Madison Bumgarner at 96.5, and that is going to be the under. So the Reds have a ton of righties, and then there's Joey Votto. So this was a scenario where we saw with Alex Wood about like 4 days ago maybe, when they're facing off Giants against the Marlins. The Marlins, they had Jazz Chisholm batting that game, and they allowed Alex Wood to go back out there to face him, and he couldn't get out the next guy. I think it was Jorge Soler. And so because there's just a string of righties coming up, they elected to go with Chisholm because of the lefty-lefty. So they let Wood face Chisholm, but then they took him out after. He gave up the single to Soler. Now, obviously, if he retired Soler, he might have gotten a chance to face Aguilar, but that's something that we could see here because if you look at the Reds lineup, Votto, he's sandwiched in between a ton of righties. He's the only lefty in the projected lineup. And so if you do have an inning where you see Votto is there, and then afterwards, like there's just no lefties, then Bumgarner is probably going to be taken out of the game. So that's one way where we can see him get under. And an underdog, his pitching prop is at 95.5. So there's that one pitch, it could make a difference. And also just straight up the Reds against lefties when they're at home, talking about this yesterday with Corbin, lefties when overall they rank third worst in WRC Plus at 82. But when you're playing at home, and it's a big deal when you're playing in Great American Ballpark, they are the 7th best team against lefties in WRC Plus. So that's a very big thing to note. And Bumgarner just hasn't been that great. A ton of blue on his StatCast here, and he struggles against righties. He allows a lot of power, and he's going to have to face basically a whole lineup of righties. Joey Votto, the lone lefty, he actually has had really good history against Bumgarner, so it really isn't the best matchup for Bumgarner here. So that's why I think he could just let him struggle and have to be taken out early. And another thing about this game is the weather. It could rain sometime in the middle, and so if it rains when Bumgarner's still out there, he might have to just leave the game early. So that's another thing. Maybe they just start the game a little bit earlier to avoid the rain, but gonna have to monitor that one. But that's why I do like Bumgarner. Just a lot of factors that I think work well for Bumgarner, taking the under on his pitch count. And then for hitters, Christian Walker, 6.5. I think out of this game, like on the Arizona side, Walker's the best one. I don't know why, but Dalton Varsho isn't projected to be in the. Now he is. Okay, he wasn't earlier, but I would think Walker is my choice just because he has a lower projection, and he's kind of been a reverse splits guy. Hunter Green as well. And Walker basically puts the ball in the air like all the time. Hunter Green, he allows people to put the ball in there. So it just kind of both of those match up. And Pulling up Christian Walker's stats, he's been really solid this year. He's also just been an unlucky hitter. You're going to see his expected batting average and then how much red his Savant pages shows. And yeah, I mean, like, that is amazing. And he's going to get a big ballpark boost going into Cincinnati. His batting average is only 203. He has 14 homers on the year, but expected BA is 282. His K rate's at 20.6, so not really that high. Hunter Green definitely strikes guys out, but he draws walks. Hunter Green, if he's going to walk him, sure, we'll take the 2 points. And again, the ballpark, high humidity. Humidity makes the ball travel further a little bit. So a lot of good things that stand out here for Walker. Prefer him. But if you want Marte, that's fine as well. Varsho certainly can stack him up. But the other side, that's where I really like just this whole game in general. Braden Drury, Tommy Pham, I like those guys over Votto. Drury's going to be my favorite. Just been the better hitter compared to Pham this year. And he's only at 6.5. He was at 7 today, still at the over with 8. And Drury, a ton of red as well. He's just really hitting the ball well right now. And, gonna get the platoon advantage for him as well. And facing a lefty that doesn't really strike guys out, so he's had better numbers against lefties this year. And Diamondbacks, their bullpen's not that great. You have, again, the ballpark, so a 5-run total, very strong. Hitting second, Senzel does get on base, has a good enough walk rate there. And then Tommy Pham behind him, only at 6 projection. Righty-lefty platoon as well. So I think these two guys can definitely take them together, take Walker on the other side, make an entry out of it. But I just think that this matchup, the ballpark, it's really good, and it definitely seems weird that we're getting projections maybe a little bit too high than what we're used to on these guys. But concerning the matchup, though, definitely they are in a great spot just this whole game. So hopefully this game does go without any rain issues. And then that's really it right now, because some of these props that I kind of have some interest in, like with the Blue Jays, because they're facing out probably is one of the weaker pitchers in Daniel Lynch today. I want the total base prop, like for Vlad, so that's where I'm going to go. If they do put it up, they'll usually add him the next morning. So they actually just added it right now, so I guess I'll talk about it. Vladimir Guerrero, I will take that 1.5 total base prop. Give me a righty-lefty matchup. This game is going to have just extremely high humidity, and humidity is not as important as wind, temperature, and obviously the pitcher on the mound, but they have the highest run total at 5.5, and the Royals, they have one of the worst bullpens in the league, so that's why I'm going to like Vladdy at 1.5. See if they actually got some other ones. Yeah, I'd say I just stick with Vladdy, but the one that I did want to talk about is Jarren Duran at 0.5. He's been hitting leadoff when the Red Sox are against a righty, so they're going to be taking on one in Noah Syndergaard, and I would expect him to bat Duran leadoff again, Kike batting second. So all Duran needs to do is hit a single, and he's capable of that. He's been doing that for all his games that he's been up with the team, and the Angels, they've really struggled so far, or rather the last 11, because they've lost 11 straight so far, or the last 11 games, and the win 8 miles blowing out, 72 degrees, and probably you're gonna see Duran get pinch hit for if they do bring in a lefty. If Duran's gonna have to lead off an inning because they got Devers, and Kike's kind of been reverse splits this year, so that's the one danger. But I think you can at least still get 3 at-bats out of Duran, and I would really hope that Duran can at least get 1 hit there. So that's why I like the leadoff guy. The leadoff guy getting a lot of at-bats there. I think you definitely get a single, so that's why I take the over on only 0.5 total bases. And then really, not much else here, like runs and RBIs. Something that I'm going to talk about is the weather real quick for Cleveland and Texas, because that one has the best hitting conditions, I would say. Obviously Great American, but when you factor in wind, 13 miles blowing straight out the center, that's going to boost these run totals. But just looking at, this is Switch Analytics, the weather for this game, that's kind of off. They need to fix that, but it was a 1.21 home run boost. Hopefully they'll fix that, because these numbers are not accurate for the wind, so it's messing up with these calculations. But it is going to be very friendly for just an increase in home runs. So if you want to take like Seraw Rosario, hopefully some guy like Jose Ramirez hits a homer. You can also pair it with total bases here. So that's a good stack that you can make. But right now I'm going to say my favorite play is going to be from the Arizona and Cincinnati game with Brandon Drury, 6.5. So that's going to be my favorite play, my lock of the day. And hopefully we do get some better props because there are a lot of pitchers that will walk guys. So when we do get walks allowed, hopefully we see like Hunter Green at 2, or Robbie Ray has some historic issues with walks, like Snell. So a lot of guys that we could possibly get for walks, walk props. So gonna keep an eye on that. Remember, there's only afternoon games and night games today, so I'll post the plays later on in the day for Monday. So that's gonna be it for the breakdown. Only a small slate today, no NBA. So gonna get back at it for Tuesday, where we got all the games in play. So watch or look out for that video. Gonna probably be a much better one, a lot more props to take. But that's gonna be the breakdown for today, for Monday, June 6th. Thank you guys for watching. Let's crush the slate and good luck on it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.